Very good morning, friends. Myself Amit. Let us begin the Hindu analysis for the 1st of October, 2020. So let's begin with our first section, friends. The first section of the day is Thought of the Day, which is by Mahatma Gandhi. So we all know that 2nd October is Gandhi Jayanti. So we will try to do this week. We will try to take the thoughts from Mr. Gandhi. Our Bapuji. So what he is saying, the strength does not come from the physical capacity, it comes from an indomitable will. So those who have excuses that I cannot do this because of my physical inability, that I am weak. He says that the people is not weak from their physical abilities, but they are weak from their mental abilities. And even if you remember what Buddha was saying, that the thoughts become your action. Thought become your action. So if you can think in your mind that I can do this, you can do this. So make your goals, have an indomitable will which no other person can reduce, which no other person can affect or influence. Have your own indomitable will and go behind your goals. Stop, arise and stop not till your goal is achieved. That is from Vivekananda, and these are all similar in kind. So let's move towards the next section of the day, friends. The next section of the day, friend, is about the significance of the date. So today, the 1st of October, we celebrate the International Day of Older Person. The date has been designated by the United Nations, and this decade 2020-2030 has been designated as the decade for aging. The decade of healthy aging, to promote the healthy aging, especially given during this given the effect of this pandemic COVID-19. The adults are these older people are suffering a lot. If you know that as per 2011 census, India has 8% of the population of above 60, which are considered older people in India and across the world. So we have 8% of the people of older persons, and we have a proper policy for them. We have made several arrangements. So we will talk about the global arrangements made in a topic further slides. So here what we are talking about is the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has given a statement that world marks the 30th anniversary of International Day of Older Persons as we reckon with the disproportionate and severe impact of COVID-19 pandemic has wrought on older person around the world, not only on their health but on their rights and well-being. So friends, if you have an essay on older person, you can directly write this quote. You can begin with this one, or you can write it in between. Not in answers, but for the answers it would be quite long. But in essay this can be quoted. This gives an added advantage. So coming to what he's saying that COVID-19 has created a great impact, and we need to create a better health infrastructure, provide them with better rights and well-being, so that older people can grow up healthy, can age healthy, and can share their experiences of life to make world a better place. So 2020 observance will promote the decade of healthy aging 2020-2030. This year has also been recognized as the year of nurse and midwife, given the service they have provided to the world over to the people affected from COVID-19. The victims of COVID-19. So they have done a quite great level of service they have provided to the people. So we give them a round of applause, and let's move towards the next topic then, friends. We will see this older person related things in one more topic of the day. So this Mr. Advani, the case recently, a Supreme Court gave its judgment in this Babri case, where 31 of those acquitted in the demolition of Babri Masjid have been acquitted along with Mr. Advani. This verdict came after 28 years, as this demolition took place on 6th of December 1992 incident. So this was all about demolition of Babri Masjid in Ayodhya, where Kurd Sevaks demolished the building, citing that it was against the religion, or it was not the original structure on the land. Coming back to what the judgment says that court has rejected the charges of criminal conspiracy. The main thing that court has said that there is lack of evidence that everything was planned. Okay, the CBI has filed this litigation, right? But the charges leveled by the CBI against the accused are not living up to the evidence. So observing that the charge sheet did not have any evidence to show that they got together in common intent with a group of hooligan Karsevaks to bring down the mosque. So the main thing is that it was not planned, or there is no such evidence that everything was planned by these 31 accused, right? So the thing is that the Supreme Court has said that the Karsevaks suddenly got agitated and started doing violence and demolished the building. Okay, and VHP leader Ashok Singhal tried, appealed to stop them, but they didn't retreat. Okay, so the crime alleged against the accused could not be proven, says Supreme Court, and thus they cannot be. Even ours, the principle of Supreme Court and the principle of justice in India says that one cannot be punished until the crime is proved. Okay, the procedure established by law is followed in India. So we cannot punish them until their guilt is proved. So what the opposition is saying that this judgment run counter to the Supreme Court's judgment holding demolition of the mosque as illegal act, and it also goes against the the spirit of constitution, the idea of secularism and fraternity. Okay. So yes, on a bit it seems that the Supreme Court has given a kind of expected judgment, but yes, it was kind of very serious case, so it should have given more kind of inquiry or investigation mechanism, so that proper justice could be delivered, because justice should not only be delivered but it should be seen to be delivered, which is more important to hold the credibility of judiciary in the country. Okay, so moving on towards the next topic frame. The next topic is Supreme Court has refused to shift the civil service exam from October 4. So now it is very much sure that those who are giving exam, they are to give it on October 4. There is no such delay, as the UPSC Commission, their lawyer has said that any such delay would have an effect on the follow-up exams, right? The UPSC has already declared the calendar for 2021, and they on their website, right, they have said that the next prelims would be held on July 27. Okay, the commission said that any further delay in the prelims exam this year would delay the final result of 2020 exam, and thus they won't be able to declare it before the next year's preliminary exam, which will hamper the ongoing process. So they are asking that they have already spent 50 crore rupees on the preparation. They have asked state chief secretaries to ensure running of public transport on 3 and 4 October. They have written to railway board to run across the sectors to transport approx 10.5 lakh candidates who have been enrolled, right? They have made appropriate arrangements, right, the UPSC, so they should be given chance to conduct the exam. Then the authorities should consider the position of candidates with last attempt, and so that they can take the exam next. The next topic is related to the hunger and malnutrition of society. So now coming to the organizations involved in all this. So ICMR based National Institute of Nutrition has redefined, they are the authority to redefine the ideal or reference of Indian adult man and woman regarding from 19 to 39 age for men and 20 to 39 age for women. So their body has been revised to 65 and 55 respectively from 60 and 50. The latest data has been collected, some data from various sources like NFHS 4 survey, National Family Health Survey 2015-16, then National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau NNMB 2015-16, and the World Health Organization data for 2006 and 7, and the last one is Indian Academy of Pediatrics. 2015. All this data has been collected to constitute that the food intake habits in India are being changing, and the average weight of an average Indian has been increased both for male and female, and this led to the the acceptable reference body weight values throughout the lifespan. Okay, so they have also said that the dietary intake, which was earlier recommended to be 11 is to 1 is to 3, earlier it was just, for to feed the energy levels, right? So this says actually cereal to legume to milk ratio. So earlier the ratio of cereal was quite high, as people were taking less food. So amount of cereal would have given them more energy. But now people are taking more food, their diet has increased. So the thing is that they need to increase their milk or the the dairy products. So now the new ratio has been improved to 3 is to 1 is to 2.5. 3 for cereals, 1 for legume, and 2.5 is for milk or dairy products. So now this survey wants, or this new ICMR NIN body, they want the people to take more this dairy products, so that the protein intake in the body could be improved. One thing I want to tell you, that Manrega, because of this Manrega, the daily wages of people has been ensured. So the education standards and the food standards, especially this protein intake, has increased in rural areas because of Manrega. Some data suggests this. Okay, so the better education and better food intake has a quite significant role behind this is of Manrega. Okay, because now the wages are around 200 rupees. Because of this pandemic, wages have been up to rupees 200 in some special villages, while it is rupees 180 or 150 something in other areas, right? So they have ensured proper security, money, okay, money security. So people are spending more on food and education, and also the schemes like midday meal and ICDS have quite significant role to play ensuring India's hunger needs. Okay, but on the other hand, talking about the overweights, we have the problem of lifestyle. The lifestyle is changing, the eating habits are changing. Okay, eating habits are changing. So this eating habits is more towards the junk food, the chips, pizza, burger, all this, the trans fat is increasing inside the body, and reduced exercise and increased stress. Reduce yoga and exercise and increase stress or hypertension of modern life. So increase stress. This all has led to increase in body weight and leading to overweight like problems, which are significantly leading to problems related to cardiology. Okay, the this cardiac arrest is or the heart attack kind of problem, they are becoming significant. The number is increasing at a significant rate. Okay, so the people need to think about their eating habits. So recently the FSI, Food Safety and Security Authority of India, has started this Eat Right movement, which has also got the Rockefeller Prize. If you will search for this movement, you will find that this movement has got the Rockefeller Prize, the food prize. Okay, that's it for this one. Moving on towards our next topic, friend. The next topic is about the maritime sphere of India. So this whole topic is about India's focus on its continental policy. This article says that India has been focusing on its continental strategy exclusively since its independence in 1947. And what we have achieved Chinese aggression, which has recently crossed the red line on the LAC. They are continuously disturbing our borders from northwest to northeast. Then Pakistan, which often is ready with their weapons and all they have to violate the ceasefire on LOC and create a two-front problem. The third problem is they are collusive. Okay, both they are they are tying hands with each other to create two-front problems for India. Then there is problem in Afghanistan, where US troops are ready to withdraw, and entry of Taliban is a kind of setback for India's efforts, because India is kind of the Taliban is kind of untouchable for India. Okay, so the problem here arises for us to deal with this vacuum created by the withdrawal of US troops. The next point is related to, friends, is Iran, because recently we have seen that the Jahedan railway track, the Iran has decided to construct it at its own, and they have also received $400 billion aid from China. So India has been sidelined in Iran despite their efforts to achieve something crucial at this Chabahar port and the INSTC corridor, what we wanted to link to Moscow and Central Asia. So this will hamper our interest not only in Iran but Central Asia and Moscow too, because the connectivity, the link we wanted won't be there. So the author is asking us to shift our strategy more towards maritime rather than focusing exclusively on the continental strategy that we already have. We have already increased tensions with our neighbors, right? Like Pakistan is creating tensions in Jammu and Kashmir, the revoking of Article 370, but they were not able to digest it. So they created new map of Pakistan. Similarly, that there's new map of Nepal. Okay, so there are ongoing tensions on the continental side. So we need to, though we need to remain focused on this side, but we need to add an extra strategic strategy to our domain, which is maritime strategy. And how it can benefit India, the author is saying that India is very strategically located in the Indo-Pacific. See, India is located here, from this Africa to this entire of Australia, and in connectivity to Pacific. It gives a very wide domain for India, especially or given this global supply chains on this Indian Ocean. Okay, they provide very strategic point to India to deal with the people involved in this region. Okay, especially the Euro-American, the European American nations, they are very much interested in this Indian Ocean region, Indo-Pacific region. The countries like France, they released their Indo-Pacific strategy last year. Then USA changed this the Pacific their Pacific arm to Indo-Pacific arm, renamed it. Then recently Germany also released their Indo-Pacific strategy. So this shows their interest in Indo-Pacific region, the Euro-American countries, and India can found natural allies among them to build its free navigation regimes, the following international law, which India is in favor of, along with these countries. So we can develop coalitions with them to become a net security provider in the region. Okay, then we can counter the hegemonic China. Given China being hegemonic in South China Sea and increasing its presence in Indian Ocean, if we can collide with these, we can form an association with these Euro-American countries, then we can sideline China in many aspects. Especially in South China Sea, if we can ensure that the freedom of navigation is there, then we can have a leverage on the continental terms, the talks we have on the continental side with China, that if you keep on disturbing us on the LAC, then we will come to disturb you in the South China Sea or in the Indian Ocean region near Gwadar, etc. So that a kind of balance could be created. India can have leverage in some sides. India can leverage itself from the choke points present on the maritime trade, because China is having kind of China is kind of a global supplier. Okay, they are very good in manufacturing, but they need to do trade from the oceans. So if we have a proper maritime strategy, we can have a leverage on them, we can have advantage on them. Okay, we can go for the choke points like Malacca, because it is quite close to Andaman and Nicobar. So we can have better military presence in Andaman and Nicobar, and can even develop this Andaman and Nicobar as an entry port or a kind of strategic hub for international goods and trade, so that we can take advantage on China to have leverage in talks. Okay, and to have better global clout. So also we can lead the global supply chains with strategic positions of two of our island, the Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar. So we can provide support to international trade, and we can ensure that net security is there. We can be part of this trade. We can gain economically, socially, and geopolitically. So our maritime strategy can give us in many terms. That's it for this topic, friends. Now moving on towards next one, which is about the older women. So all we are doing, we should not leave the older women behind. We all know that COVID-19 had hit hard. Okay, it had hit hard, and especially the older people. And among the older people, especially the women, because women, they often outlive men, right? So women, if you find if you search in above 80 age, mostly the females are there. Okay, because women outlive men, especially in the Asia Pacific region. Okay, so they are particularly grappling, and this accelerating aging population is becoming a challenge for the countries in Asia Pacific. Okay, so the things what they are facing with challenges, many challenges like nuclear families. Okay, nuclear families. So with changing time, the families are becoming shorter, which is leading to live alone tendency of older women. So they are being left behind in villages, and the new nuclear families are moving outside towards the urban areas. So, and the problem they face the problem of poverty. They are old enough to do any work. Okay, often if they are widow, above 80 age women, often they are widow, so they do not have anyone to talk to. So there are social isolation they feel, okay, in their houses. Then they have no safety or security nets. Okay, no security nets, because insurance is a kind of very far away things for people, these people like this. Okay, then they have no economic support. Okay, so they do not have any kind of caregiver, any access to some kind of caregiver, because kind of geriatric services, the geriatric services, if you know the name, these are the services given to older people. Okay, so the geriatric services in India or the Asia Pacific countries, they are quite minimal, and they are not reaching the people, the women in rural areas or the remote locations. So the overall thing is that they should be provided with better solutions. What solutions could be provided to them? The older women could be provided with solution with better collaboration between the government and the civil society or NGOs, so that both can take better action for healthy aging. We need a proper life cycle approach for healthy aging from birth of a child to their last stage. First, let us take an example. A woman was born at in a small village. She grows up, married early, face poverty, then have a children at young age. She, do not have any skills to do any kind of work. Rather, she is working on agricultural field or in collecting wood or making homemaking. Okay. Then after some time, after age of 60, suppose her husband dies and she becomes a widow. Now she is unprepared to face the world. Okay, she cannot enter the workforce. Her children has moved out, so she does not have any means to support herself. Okay, so she is kind of being isolated in many terms, right? So we need to make work from this childhood. We need to give them education and proper nutrition, so they are both physically and mentally able. Okay, then we need to give them proper education and skills at the age of adolescent, so that they can enter the workforce after some time. After they are independent adults, then they should be allowed to marry. Then they can support their family well, and after at this old age, not only they will be independent to support themselves, they will have better experience to share with the world. They can give experience to their younger ones. Okay, so that they can lead their life with happiness. So this all can be done if society can collaborate, the government and civil society can collaborate, the people also, the participation of people also. This can help us develop social system which is more resilient. Okay, more better policies are needed from the government. Then only we can significantly improve the lives of older people. Okay, and can get their valuable experiences for leading life. Various international arrangements have been done, like this 2002 Madrid International Plan, on aging. Okay, action on aging, Madrid International Plan for action on aging. This has been made, and the main target for this plan was to develop a society for all ages. A society for all ages. This was a theme line for this. Okay, so then we have this UN mandate, UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, which incorporates the need to enable and strengthen the self-reliance. They aim at enabling and strengthening the self-reliance of older people. This is the main concept they are going with. Okay, this UNFPA is committed to help governments and do the partnership with them. So with government and civil society, both the government and civil society, so that they can work in tandem to create a better community for older people, right? Also this decade 2020, I told you this decade 2020 and 2030 has been declared as decade of healthy aging. You can expect this question in mains this time, because this question isn't quite because this COVID-19 has hit the older people quite large. Okay, quite the effect is being quite great. So the overall thing, the problems of older people has come to fore, and we can expect a question in mains this time. Okay, some instinct I have for this. So decade of healthy aging. Okay, decade of healthy aging. Moving on, so what we need to do, we need to build back better. We also have SDGs in line. Okay, both the SDGs and one is ICPD, Interaction of International Plan. Second one is this UNFPA, Self-Reliance Strategy. Then SDGs on older people. Then ICPD, International Conference on Population and Development. Okay, all these are after this pandemic, right? We NCRB report, 26% is of the increase in crime against SCs has been seen, and the maximum crime against the SC is being in the state of Uttar Pradesh, which also has the highest population of SCs. It is being followed by the state of Rajasthan and Bihar. Okay. In terms of rape cases, the maximum rape cases against the SCs are being seen in state of Rajasthan, followed by Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. While the crime against SC has been increased by 26.5%, and the Madhya Pradesh recorded the highest number of cases because Madhya Pradesh has got the highest population of tribals. Okay, so yes, they this is logical that they have highest crimes against STs. So Madhya Pradesh has got the highest number of cases against the scheduled tribes, then followed by Rajasthan and then Odisha. And even the rape cases against the tribals are maximum in Madhya Pradesh. So what overall thing is that the crime against them is rising, and we need to provide them with more better and resilient legal system, so that these crimes could be curbed against them. They need to be provided with more equitable terms, so that they can gain their position in the mainstream, so that these crimes could be reduced against them. Okay, because they are people usually with low income and in the lower sections of society, so they are more vulnerable to become victim to such crimes, right? The crimes of rape, murder, etc. So they are kind of most vulnerable to enter such crimes, and even these are the most maximum people under this under trials in court. So they form the maximum community of under trials in court, because they do not have money to present their case. Okay, so we need to create a better judicial and legal system, a framework, so that these people could be provided with speedy justice, with more equitable terms, so that they can gain their position in the mainstream. Okay, because they are people usually with low income and in the lower sections of society, so they are kind of most vulnerable to become victim to such crimes, right? The crimes of rape, murder, etc. So they are more vulnerable to enter such crimes, and even these are the most maximum people under this under trials in court. So they form the maximum community of under trials in court, because they do not have money to present their case. Okay, so we need to create a better judicial and legal system, a framework, so that these people could be provided with speedy justice, free legal aid as provided under fundamental right, okay, so that they can be provided with their rights and can live in a better and healthy society. This Commonwealth of Human Rights Initiative is a kind of civil society group, a police reform advocacy group, which says that the cases registered against SC and ST, they are quite less compared to actual cases. Yes, this is a problem because the cases registered are often very less and discriminatory actions are there against the SC and ST, which is true, okay, which is true. If you find on the ground level, you will see that the cases registered are quite less because of the fear these people have, because of the collude nexus between the police and politicians and those committing these crimes, okay. So they are facing with many problems and we need to make them, enable them to come on par with others in society. Moving on to next topic, which is kind of just an information. Recently, Kuwait, you know about Kuwait, a small country, oil-rich country in this Gulf region, Gulf of Persia. So this recently the leader, Amir Sheikh Sabah, he died recently, and this country has a peculiarity, a specialty that they have parliament, okay, and provide relative independence, which is quite contrary to their neighbors of Gulf Arab having monarchies, okay. So now the new man is Mr. Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Shaba, who is being sworn in before the parliament, as the new emir of the tiny oil-rich country. He is cousin brother of the earlier emir, and he's expected to follow the same lines as his predecessor, because he's kind of less deviated from his policies. Okay, we hope that Kuwait become, for Indian context, is if the policies, the previous policies goes on, then we can have same proper relations with Kuwait as earlier. Okay, so moving on towards our next topic, friend. The next topic is related to German Chancellor Angela Merkel. She has accused China of cruel treatment of the minorities. So this is the last topic of the day, friends, and we are the thing is, this is important because European nation often they do not speak against China because they have quite great trade links. Okay, you might have seen that during this whole COVID pandemic, America has been worried. America has countered China in many terms, but the statements from Europe, they have been kind of polite. They haven't stated against China in any platform. So coming of these statements from countries like Germany, they have value. Okay, so the Europe now is speaking against China, and India, for India, it is a kind of golden opportunity to harness this period. Okay, we need to create an anti-China sentiment so that this can benefit us in two ways. One, we can have global UN seat, because China is being a biggest hinder for India to have global the UN seat. Okay, the second one is we can ease down Chinese tensions on LAC by gaining support, international support. Okay, so by proving China being an hegemon, okay, aggressive country. So India need to go for its diplomacy and use these statements in their dealing, okay, international dealing. So what the news is that the German Chancellor Angela Merkel has accused China of poor and cruel treatment of minorities and underlining the deep concerns over the crackdown in the descent of Hong Kong. We all know that Hong Kong was guaranteed autonomy under one country, two system. When the deal was done, when it was handed over by the Britain to China in 1997. But this principle of one country, two system has again and again been undermined by China, and recently they have come with this security law, which has detained many agitators, the protesters who are demanding democracy in Hong Kong, the proper democracy, right? One another thing is about the activists, the Uyghur Muslims who have been treated with cruelty in northwestern China, in Xinjiang province. The Uyghur Muslim minorities, they have been herded into this internment camps and undergo political indoctrination. says the expert. But what China says that these centers are meant for training, education, so as to reduce the allurement to Islamic radicalism. But who the China, the government is to decide for. Okay, the proper if they have proper rights, they should give the proper rights to their minorities. And these kind of camps, they remind us of the genocidal camps of Hitler. Okay, so this the monarchical tendency of China, the world should speak against them and should come to the terms so that the rights of minorities, Uyghur minorities, could be secured in China. Okay, that's it for today, friends. Thank you for the day. I hope I have contributed well to your knowledge, and have a nice day. Thank you.